Cheers, guys. Epix911, welcome to the Elitist Geek. I want to do a video that I haven't done in a while, and that's just a basic tech and game update video. I've got a few games on the go, which I'm going to talk about in a future video, but for now, I just wanted to ramble a little bit about some articles that caught my eye and get some discussion going. I'm curious to hear what you guys think on a few of these topics. The first one being the Steam controller and Steam machine. Now, we've known about this for a couple of years, but it's always bugged me at some kind of core level. I've never been able to put my thumb exactly on what it is that bugs the snot out of me so much about it. Gabe Newell and Valve, let's face it, they make a shit ton of money. Gabe swims around in a pool of money, and really, the PC platform is the most successful digital platform out, I think you could argue, in terms of providing exclusively digital content. You know, you've got the PlayStation Network, you've got Xbox, Microsoft's version of that, but they still rely on physical media. Whereas you could argue that the majority of PC game sales are easily digital now, whether it's Good Old Games, Steam, you know, and 2 or 3 other services out there. Digital games are what the PC is all about. And it's been a transition we haven't had a lot of issue with as gamers. Now, again, I am platform agnostic. You guys know I love gaming. And to me, whether it's PC, Xbox, PlayStation, you know, there was a time when I wasn't making money and I had to pick because of fiscal issues. That's no longer the case, so I buy them all, and then I just buy the games that do it for me, regardless of the platform that they're on. So, back to that with the Steam controller and Steam machine. What makes PC gaming so wonderful for me, and I think a lot of other people, is a PC gives us a certain degree of flexibility. It's a machine that I can play on, surf on, film on, read on, be productive on, create music on. The PC has always been about versatility and diversity. And that is the main thing to me that separated it from consoles. There used to be the arguments that console gamers, exclusive console gamers, would make, well, I can relax on a couch and play on a big TV. PC gamers can't do that. Of course we can. It's not rocket surgery to hook up a PC to a TV, to use an Xbox controller. You've got exactly the same flexibility. And if you know anything about networking or connecting systems, you can make that even easier. And again, if you're platform agnostic like me, more power to you because you have infinitely more flexibility. So, what is it about the Steam machine that bugs me is that it limits that versatility. I don't believe in narrowing what a PC can do for gaming specifically. And that's what the Steam machine does. It's easy to build a Linux box. It's, if you know how to install Linux. And there's versions out there, you don't even have to know Linux. You could pretty much teach a bonobo chimp to install it. Again, it's not too complex. But the Steam machine limits that. I honestly don't know how successful it'll be. And what really irked me with the latest announcement from the Steam camp, creating it is one thing, right? You know, no problem. I can sit on the sidelines. It doesn't impact me. I've got my PC gaming rigs in the house. I've got, a powerful machine that I use as my primary one and a less powerful one for friends when they come over. That's still viable. I think it's a 7970 AMD card, and my main rig is two R290s in Crossfire, right? The move that bothered me the most is partnering with GameStop in the US and Electronics Boutique in Canada. I'm getting a funny taste in my mouth just saying that again. The reason that bugs me so much is, well, let's see. When was the last time that GameStop or EB cared about PC gaming or really had any invested interest in it? I think somewhere in Neverwary. Because they've never cared. PC gaming was the first frickin' sacrifice in both stores to make room for other consoles. They turned their back on PC gaming, and now, for some reason, Valve wants to go into a partnership with them. If it was me running Electronics Boutique or GameStop, I would have given some vision to the... Just because the PC has moved away from physical media doesn't mean you still can't promote and profit from digital. The game stores could have, they could have gone about it a whole bunch of different ways. What about buying digital games at EB or GameStop? But buying it through them gives you a 5% discount. Leverage the exposure and the buying power that you have as a chain to put yourself into that industry. If you're assuring a company like Valve that you can help drive sales, I'm sure agreements can be made. If you're dealing with high volume, you don't even need to have a huge margin on each game that you sell. And I know traditionally it's about 10 points on games, right? You could negotiate 2-3 points on a game and still make money and still promote the platform. Have users come in that maybe don't have credit cards, right? And provide them with a sales portal to Steam. It, would gift that game to their account, but they do the purchasing through you. Pay you the cash, you do the purchasing on behalf of them. That's just one idea, and have I thought that through? Hell no, that was like literally just come to the surface. My point is, there's no reason why GameStop and EB couldn't have done more or could do more for the PC gaming industry than they are doing. Because if you look at the pitiful PC sections in both, which have been pitiful for a hell of a freaking long time, there's no fucking chance of mistaking them for having PC interest, because they haven't for a very long time. Be interested in hearing your guys' thoughts on that. That's just my little ramble. Again, just a quick idea. The point is, things could be done and they're not, and now they want to partner with Steam. Sorry, you lost me. I'm just going to do my gaming through Steam on my versatile PC, and I'll continue to not go to EB. Instead, I go to Willow Video, which is a local store. They've never pretended to be a PC dealer. They have a much better price on used games. I buy my PS4, my Xbox One, 3DS games exclusively through them. I don't support Electronics Boutique. There you have it. Which brings me to the next article, which is Microsoft. Well, before we go to Microsoft, let's go back to PC platform for a second. Let's talk about the Oculus Rift. Price points were originally estimated to be around $350 for each unit. Well, Lucky Palmer has just come out to say that the price point's going to be higher. They can't say why, they can't say how much higher, but what they can say is that they don't want to compromise to the consumer. And I'm okay with that. But what does that mean? Does that mean $350 is $700, $800? Are we talking over $1,000? What the fuck are we talking about? Be clear. Don't speak in riddles. Not this close to launching. If you're launching first quarter of 2016, let's face it, that's just a few months down the road. Let's have a little more dialogue with consumers. Let us know what to expect. Build up some hype, because in a previous video, I've touched on the strengths of the Oculus Rift and the weaknesses. And to me, the strengths are massively compelling. Games like Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous. Although Star Citizen, if you guys have been keeping up with the news, apparently they're suing a company that says or made claims that they've squandered 90% of the funds, which amounts to, I think, about $81 million squandered and only 8 or 9 million left for development. That's scary. And I've always maintained from day one, even though I would love to see Star Citizen come through to fruition, Elite Dangerous to me was always the more compelling. And the reason is they envisioned the project at all of its milestones. Star Citizen still, a couple years later, doesn't really seem to know where it's going, right? With Elite Dangerous, you've got old school Elite with the promise of one day maybe having planet landings like Elite 2 and 3 did, or having more MMO style politics and missions in the game. But in the meantime, you've got a fairly complete game to play that looks decent and that is absolutely stunning with the Oculus Rift. So in my opinion, they need to be a bit more clear with their marketing. Let's build up that hype. We've got 3 months to go, guys. It's going to be a day one purchase for me. There's no freaking way in hell I am not going to buy an Oculus Rift. But for those that are on the fence, they're not making it easy. And really, so much more can be done on marketing. Facebook owns them. I don't see anything on Facebook advertising-wise. I just don't see much hyping the Oculus Rift. It's almost fallen off the radar with the exception of the odd article that I see posted on the internet. And that's not smart with this many months to go. Another oddity. I gotta have a swig of beer before I do this one, guys. Another oddity. And this one is Microsoft. Doesn't it seem like Microsoft is always late to the fucking party? I mean, really. That's been the story of Microsoft from day one. They were late with operating systems, with graphics, Commodore and Macintosh, in terms of functionality, and hell, even Atari beat them in terms of a compelling operating system. It took Microsoft fully until the mid-90s when the aforementioned other companies had that all done in the mid-80s. Fully a decade for Microsoft to catch up and release a gaming-friendly operating system called Windows 95, because 3.1 was horrible for gaming. And the previous versions before 3, well, we won't even talk about that. But anyways, Microsoft has come late to the party with their virtual technology called HoloLens. And I'm not going to condemn the technology without having tried it, but it doesn't seem very compelling to me. What it purports to do is mix the reality of what you see around you with holograms. So, for example, you put the device on, you stare at a blank wall, the game has a canvas to turn that into a portal for aliens that fly out that you then zap with a PlayStation Move style device. Well, gamers live in all different kinds of environments. Some people live in trailers. Some people live in, they're living in dorm rooms. I don't understand how it's going to be a consistent experience for all the different types of environments that people have. But I guess I'll wait and see. The point is, it doesn't seem very compelling. And quite frankly, it's pretty late. But we'll see. Every once in a while, Microsoft can surprise. Not always a good surprise, but, they have had their moments in history for sure. Some games that have been released within the last few weeks. Disgaea 5, Alliance of Vengeance for the PlayStation 4. Haven't purchased it yet. I'm going to probably go this weekend to my local Willow video game store and pick it up. It looks good. Disgaea 5 is one of those games, kind of like Etrian Odyssey. You don't really expect much with each iteration graphically. Persona is another game like that. They make changes to the gameplay. Combat mechanics change. But technology-wise, there's no real quantum leap from version to version. And Disgaea 5 is very much the same. There's nothing I've seen in trailers on the web that make it look like it required a PlayStation 4 to power it. In fact, honestly, and it would be a stretch, but it looks like the PlayStation 2 and for sure the PlayStation 3 could have created the game, right? But it's never really been about the graphics, and I certainly am not a guy who's obsessed with graphics. I can appreciate graphics, but I'm perfectly comfortable playing ASCII text roguelikes if that's what I'm in the mood for. Gameplay is the most important element for me, and in that respect, apparently it delivers. We'll see. Like I said, I'm going to pick it up this weekend. Another one that I'm probably going to pick up is Heroes of Might and Magic 7, which I guess they're calling Might and Magic Hero 7 now. To me, it's Heroes of Might and Magic. The other one sounds too like the RPG version of Might and Magic, because people always get them confused, and this title change doesn't really make that any more straightforward. But what the hell? I'm not their marketing guy, but it looks pretty decent. I've seen some wonky camera issues and, a few bugs I'm sure that patches can address. But it's a series that's near and dear to my heart. Heroes of Might and Magic 3, 2, but certainly 3, still among the best turn-based strategy games on the planet. Fantastic. In my opinion, if I was to pick a top 10, Civilization would be on there, and Heroes of Might and Magic 3 would definitely be in my top 10. So, another one I'm looking forward to. And here's a strange one. Rock Band 4. What do you guys think about that? And I'm just trying to see if I still have it here, but you guys on earlier videos, you probably saw I had the Rock Band drum kit, a Guitar Hero. For me and my family, it was always a fun family game. It was a fun game to play with friends, have a few beers, drink a little, and then take out the Rock Band Guitar Hero stuff and do nonsense jamming. I've since, turned to a real guitar, which you can kind of see in the background there, or the other way. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. You can't see the handle. But anyways, but that doesn't mean it's not fun. It's just, personally, I'm kind of to the point now, I prefer if it was a bit more realistic. But I guess then it would be a tutorial. But anyways, I'm probably not going to buy it, to be honest with you, Rock Band 4. But that's the type of game that I'll keep my eye out and possibly get in the future if I see it, used for 10 to 20 bucks, right? And then lastly, and put a wrap to this video, I'm already running a little over, is Diablo 3 patch 2.3.0. Adds a bunch of cool stuff, definitely breathes new life into the game. The new pickup mechanic is fantastic. Associated item types on a single click automatically get picked up, so you can have a massive loot explosion and pick that shit up really quick. Kind of cool. Crafting's been expanded, but the less clicking thing, that's a real cool thing, because Diablo was always known as a clickfest game, and between it and StarCraft in the late 90s, or I guess mid to late 90s, are the reason I got carpal tunnel, because of all that clicking. So anytime you hear less clicking, that's not a bad thing. Anyways, guys, that's the end of the video. I know I touched on a few topics there. The video's a little longer than usual, but I just wanted to touch on some of the things that were on my mind and read and get some discussion going. Let me know if I missed any good games that are out, guys. That would suck. Fallout 4, I guess, is the next big one that I'm waiting for. But anyways, guys, as always, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. Cheers.